G'day Bodgies and Widgies and welcome back to the channel.
Alrighty then. G'day Bodgies and Widgies and welcome back to the channel. Today is going to be a bit of a fun one. Here I've got my little brother Sanjay and he wants to set up a new aquarium. So throughout the channel we're going to take this as a bit of a series. And hopefully in the near future we can set him up a little tank. But basically he has some questions and he wants me to answer them. So I think it's going to be a fun one. It's going to be pretty educational and hopefully informational if you want to set up a new aquarium as well. Without further ado, let's get started.
What are the main things you need for a fish tank?
So firstly, what size aquarium did you want?
Roughly about this big.
So when we look at the dimensions that he's roughly showing us, that would be a 2 foot long, 1 foot wide and a 1 foot tall aquarium, which is a really great beginning size because it has a lot of water volume. Now, did you want cold water fish or tropical fish?
Tropical.
So since he has spent a lot of time here, he actually has picked up a couple of things seeing my aquariums. So he obviously knows that this is tropical, so he's got that tropical interest. But now, when you're wanting a tropical aquarium, you're going to need a couple of things. Firstly, to heat the water, you're going to need a heater. So if you see in my aquariums, you will actually notice 2 heaters that are on opposite ends of the tank, and that keeps my water warm. And if you want to see how you can maintain your temperature, if you check up there, you'll see a little thermometer, and that will tell you what the temperature is. But the next thing that you're going to need is a filter, and that's going to make sure that the poo or waste that your fish produce is filtered and that your water's kept really clean. And obviously if you want to see your fish, you're going to need a light. So they're kind of the 3 main things. Oh, and you're going to need a fish tank because you can't really have your fish in a bathtub. I mean, you could, but I don't think that's the plan. Alrighty, was that good?
Yep.
Yep.
How does the filter keep the water clean?
The filter keeps the water clean by eating all the fish. No, I'm kidding. So basically, your fish are going to poo, and if that was to remain in the water and you didn't have a filter, they would swim around in their own poo, which is very toxic. And when the fish's poo starts to decompose or break down, it turns into a chemical called ammonia, and ammonia is very, very toxic. So in your filter, you're going to need a couple of things like these. These are called ceramic rings, and basically they serve as a housing or a home for bacteria. So good bacteria will colonize within your filter, and what it'll do is break down that ammonia, that toxic chemical that I was saying. So it'll make it a lot less toxic, and when that happens, things like plants will absorb that less toxic chemical, and you'll also take it out through water changes. Does that answer your question?
Yep.
Yep?
Yeah.
Okay. Getting some very vague answers. Yep.
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 What is the best beginner fishes for like a
tropical aquarium? Okay, so when you see in my aquarium, I've got quite a range of both beginner and kind of a little bit more harder to take care of fish. But generally all fish are easy to keep as long as you give them good filtration and good water quality. But fish that will be particularly hardy or be a little bit more tolerant of maybe mistakes that you might make, like missing a water change, would easily have to be the widow tetras. Now you would have noticed these little black guys or black and white with the stripes. And they are really great fish because they'll constantly be moving up and down the aquarium and very, very active as well. So in terms of having something that's always active and colourful, I'd probably say the black widow tetras are a really good one. And then you can also do, I'd recommend a school of maybe 4 to 6 Corydoras catfish. And you would have seen my little fat Corydoras that are always kind of skimming the surface of the sand. And what they do is eat any uneaten food. And you would see like here some decaying leaf matter. They'll also really make sure to keep that clean. So it's always great to have a cleanup crew in the aquarium. And then we can always add maybe like a centerpiece fish or something like a gourami or a panchax maybe as well, which will just be like your little pet personal fish. So yeah, in terms of beginner fish, we've got quite a fair amount of options. Yeah.
Okay. answer a couple.
Okay, go.
So, what are the best beginner plants in a tropical aquarium?
Okay, so when we look at my aquarium, all of these plants are beginner plants. They don't require anything excessive like really high lighting or carbon dioxide, which is a gas that you can put into the water and that'll make the plants grow much faster. But basically when we look at a couple of species, we've got Hygrophila polysperma has these really bright green leaves and pink as well, so they've got really nice colours. And if you want something that can be something that's sort of in the middle of the aquarium, we've got this here, which is called wisteria. And wisteria has these really bright green, almost firework looking leaves. And then if you want something that can kind of cover the background of your aquarium and really take over, it would be Lemonifolia sessiflorum, or the blah 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 plant.
Yeah.
But it's a very soft plant, bright and green, and it'll really take off. So these three species, I'd say, are really great for your new aquarium. They'll grow really quickly, and yeah, they just look good overall. And once you kind of know what you're doing in terms of plant care, and you don't kill all of your plants, we can kind of move on to a little bit more difficult species like weeping moss that you'll notice on my big driftwood here, and also some Java ferns and things like that. So yeah, we've got a good smorgasbord of plants for you. Yeah?
Yeah, that's good.
Alrighty then.
Okay, so what can I do for decorations in my aquarium?
Okay, so did you want something that's natural like this, or like have a castle or something in your tank, or natural?
Probably like natural.
Probably like naturally.
Yeah.
What is this?
I don't know.
Okay. So if you got in my tank, all of these rocks and decorations in an aquarium we call hardscape. So an aquascape or aquascaping is the term that you use when you decorate your aquarium. And things that are like the wood and rock, that's called hardscape. So in terms of hardscape, if we go to your local aquarium store, which is Aquatico Aquarium, which is also it's our local aquarium store, Aquatico Aquarium has a really great selection of rock and wood that we can select from. So once we actually finalize what size tank you're gonna get, it'll be really good to go to the aquarium store and pick out little bits of rock and wood that we can really use to decorate your tank. Yeah?
That's good.
That's good. Yeah.
Yeah. What are like your favourite fishes?
Okay, so you would have heard me talking about my Jack Dempsey. You obviously know that she's very, very close to me, and I've had her for 5 years, so she's my favourite fish at the moment. Another fish that I really like is my roseline sharks and my ALG 397 pleco. What does that sound like? A robot?
Probably, yeah.
Star Wars Stormtrooper.
Yeah.
Yeah. But my ALG 397 pleco, and he or she hides just around the wood, but they're kind of my top 3 favourite fishes, and the Congo tetras as well. Yeah, they're my favourites. Now I have some questions for you. Alright, so now we're going to do a bit of a pop quiz. I'm going to ask you a couple of questions based on some of the knowledge that I just shared with you. So, why do you need a filter?
To clean the water and keep the fishes healthy.
Good. Why do you need a heater?
To keep your fishes alive, like tropical fishes, and yeah.
So the heater will make the water nice and warm, and it'll make sure that the fish, your tropical fish, are eating, and then they are constantly active as well. What are some good beginner fishes?
The black tetra.
Yes, good one.
And the catfishes.
Yes, the Corridora catfish.
Yeah, that can clean the surface of the sand.
Okay, cool. Feeding. How much should you feed your fish?
Probably 2 shakes.
2 milkshakes a day.
No,
Alright, I'll show you what food I feed my fish. Okay. That was a good question. You should have asked me. Alright, cool. I'm just going to go and get the food.
Don't smell that, guys.
Oh, thanks, mate. So, in terms of food, this is what I'm feeding my fish. In here, I've got a mix of roughly about 7 to 8 different types of pellets. And they're called pellets because they're these little tiny grains which almost look kind of like, I don't know, coarse sand or gravel. But I'm not going to eat the pellet. My cameraman is telling me to eat the pellet. It's not a good idea. But basically, these pellets, they have really high quality ingredients, and you want that because your fish are going to grow faster, they're going to have better colors, and they're going to be far more active. It's like if you had hamburgers every single day, that would be pretty good. You'd get very unhealthy.
Yeah.
So having good quality ingredients in here, we've got things like prawns, fish, squid, and just really good quality ingredients. So that's why you can see the fish in here are very quite healthy. And I roughly feed kind of once a day, once every 2 days, depending on how much I feed. So it gives the fish a bit of time to digest. So are they all the questions that you wanted to ask me?
Yeah.
Okay, so this is going to be a pretty cool journey to see how the fish... Okay, wait a minute. We have a guest. Hold up. Come on here. This here is my other brother. He has been very helpful with... Oh, God. He has been very helpful with... He's been very helpful with technical support. He also has a nano aquarium that I set up for him. And in that, we've got some weeping moss. No fish in there at the moment. The plants are growing out. But he's now starting a business where he's selling some weeping moss. So if you guys want to see all of that, make sure that you do stay tuned. But was that all the questions you wanted to ask?
Yeah.
I have got a plant that is more than $105.
He's meaning the weeping moss. He has a lot of weeping moss. And weeping moss is roughly about $40 per like 5 centimeters. So he's got a lot of weeping moss in there. But did you have any questions that you wanted to ask?
Nah, not really.
Okay, cool. Alrighty, well that brings us to the end of this video. If you enjoyed it, make sure that you do give this video a big thumbs up. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't done so already, and hit the little notification bell so you upload it. Wait, you're not uploaded, so you know when I upload next. And this is going to be a pretty cool series where we're going to see his aquarium evolve and his aquarium evolve, and we're going to get some fish, set it up, and do everything like that. But yeah, was that good?
Yeah.
Stay safe.
Stay happy.
Stay Aussie Australian.
Bodgies
Bodgies
out.
out.